What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. As you guys know, I was on vacation. I actually went to Colorado. It was super fun. It was a nice little getaway from, all these cars that we've been working on lately. But we had an awesome time. Now it's time to just get back to work on this Porsche right here. As you guys seen in the previous episode, we went ahead and stripped everything down. We got everything out of the inside so we can get access to this side panel right here. This is the worst part right here. And then we have a little bit of damage on the driver's side. So basically in today's video, what I want to do is focus on getting all this right here repaired and go ahead and start probably pulling out these dents on the quarter panel. This isn't too bad. The only thing that's kind of scaring me on this car is the roof, because these roofs, when they stretch like this, it's really hard to get them back into position. So we're going to try to get that repaired also. But I want to give you guys a little update on our Mustang. As you can see, it's right here. We actually just threw the motor in. It's kind of still on the stand because we are waiting on our engine mounts. They had a little delay on those, but that is totally fine. And I popped the fenders on, and check out how tiny this engine now looks inside here. You can just see that the firewall areas right here are literally perfect. Everything turned out amazing. In the next episode, we will be building the aprons for the side right here, and then probably build all that. And then we got this nice little radiator. This thing literally fits perfect in between the frame rails, which is freaking awesome. And that's pretty much everything on this car. We're just gonna get back onto it as soon as we finish that car and we get a lot more parts in for it. So now it's basically just time to go ahead and see how we're gonna repair this area right here. I'm thinking we can just heat it up and kind of just push it out. I don't even think we'll need to use a frame machine or anything. So let's go ahead and I wanna get some of this stuff out and we'll go ahead and start straightening this out. So we got everything taken out of the trunk, and this is pretty much everything we're going to use to repair the aluminum on this car. And the main thing is aluminum is a lot different than steel, and the only really way to kind of like move it out without damaging it too much or making any cracks is to use a propane torch and heat it up a little bit just to get it a little bit malleable. You don't have to get it that hot, but just so it comes out easier without cracking it. And then we have our hammers right here. I still do need to go order some body hammers, so we'll probably get some of those later. I was thinking about getting some from Harbor Freight, but they didn't have any in stock. But who knows? Maybe some companies out there will sponsor us with some hammers. So now what I want to do is, I think I need to take off two more. Well, I completely forgot to take off this piece of plastic. So we're going to take off this piece of plastic right here and go ahead and see how we can get this area straightened out. Because you can see it's kind of pushed in right here. And I want to do the easier area first just to see how this aluminum works. And then we'll move over to the harder area. So we got everything off that we needed to get off, and now we're gonna go ahead and try to push this area out right here. There's very good places to hit it inside. So let's go ahead and start heating this area up and start tapping it out. Out. So we got most of this area nice and pushed out, and the main thing that you always want to focus on whenever you're doing something like this in the back is make sure this piece right here sits on perfectly, because this is the vent and you don't want any water leaking in there, but everything nice seals up there perfectly. And we got everything out pretty nice. Unfortunately, this little stud right here did pop off, so we have to get another. It's just a riv nut. I think you can buy them from the dealership, and it just goes in there and it crushes itself. But this side turned out pretty good. Now it's going to be the hard part, is getting this side pulled out right here. As you can see, this side is probably about 10 times worse than that other side over there was. This entire area right here is pushed in. So I guess let's get to heating and see if we can do anything with this side. check it out, guys. Finally, after beating this thing out, heating it, we finally got it completely pulled out pretty good, although it did crack a little bit right here from where the fence kind of sliced it, but it turned out pretty good. It's still gonna need a little bit more. I actually need to grab a body hammer and a dolly set just so I can fully finish it up, but it's honestly a lot better than it was. And this seal right here, this vent fits in here perfectly. Got all this pushed out right here. We're gonna also have to get a couple more rivets and then get that right there welded in. So this side is actually, I didn't think it would come out that good. I was thinking maybe we'd have to replace it, but it turned out awesome. And this side over here is basically just perfect. Got everything nice and pushed out. Everything lines up. We'll have to just grind it down, throw a little skim coat of body filler on there, and it will be good to go. So now that we have both of these sides knocked out, and we're just gonna need a little bit more work with the welder on there, we're gonna go ahead and start working on the body work over here. As you can see, there's a nice dent coming all the way across like that. And the cool thing is we do have room in the back to kind of just push it out. Oh, there, check that out. Check that out, guys. It almost came out just like that. So we're gonna go ahead and start repairing this dent right here, and then we have our major dents on the roof, which I'm kind of worried about these things. They are pretty big, especially this one right here. You can see it pulled all the metal in, and hopefully it just comes out. Maybe we'll have to do like some heat shrinking with this, but good thing we have a torch. And then back here, all this stuff is just really minor. So the first thing we're gonna do is go ahead and grind all the paint off this area right here, and then we can start pushing out the dent. So we get this quarter panel ground down all the way to bare metal, and I kind of pushed out these dents a little bit, but I couldn't get to like this little area right here and then down here along this lip right here. So the cool thing is today's video is actually sponsored by Dent Fix Equipment. So guys, check it out. Here's our care package from Dent Fix Equipment. And man, let me tell you, I've always wanted one of these machines because we did have the old stud puller, which you weld studs on and it rips holes in the metal, and it's just janky. But now we have this beast of a machine right here. So let's go ahead and unbox everything and see exactly what we have. So we got the entire Maxi Dent system set up, and man, I'm already super impressed with the thing. All the packaging was just packaged so nicely. So here's the unit right here, and this is the main thing right here. So basically, I'm going to show you guys how this thing works, but we do also have a lot of other unique stuff right here. Like this right here is the bridge puller. This is going to help us pull out those roof dents so much better than anything else I've ever seen or used before. And then this is like a little tiny thing right here. And what happens is you basically put this blue handle onto here, and then if you want to pull out some dents, ours is already actually using it a little bit right here. I'm going to show you guys how it works. This thing is pretty cool actually. So basically, this is a slide hammer one. This is the longer rod, and you simply slide the hammer on, and then let's see, there's a little low spot right here. It welds to it real nicely. And bam, check that out. Doesn't rip no holes, doesn't do anything, simply just pulls it out. Man, I'm kind of excited to start working on the roof now. We have this Dent Fix equipment set up, and I will also, guys, drop some links down below if you're working on any cars, any like projects that you want to get some dents out, or just keep it around. Like, I can't wait to use this thing on the Mustang. Also, there's a couple of dents on here, and it's just so much better than the other spot welders that you buy from like Harbor Freight, the ones that use the pins, it rips holes in it. It's just not efficient at all. And if you guys are interested in getting a dent puller for yourself, I'll go ahead and drop the link down below in the description, and they have a lot of other automotive tools and all kinds of cool, unique stuff to fix cars with. So I'll drop the link down below. Make sure you check them out. So now that we got this thing all set up, let's go ahead and start pulling out all these dents. So guys, check it out. It's pretty much ready to go for Bondo. Man, I'm super impressed with this machine. Honestly, I remember using the pens, welding them on, ripping them off, having to weld up the holes. It was just a complete nightmare, but this area right here is ready for Bondo. It's nice and flat. And the main thing you want to do when you're doing Bondo is you want to get the metal out as much as you possibly can, because then whenever you go to put your first filler layer down, that filler is going to mimic the layer below it, and then you just start sanding it, and it's just so much easier when you get the dent all the way out, and bam, check that out, it's perfect. And the cool thing about this thing is I can't wait to start using these pens right here. This is what these pens right here, they get welded on to the actual body, and then you use a puller like this right here. Let's see, where's the puller at? You can either use this puller right here or that puller over there, which is freaking awesome. It's always an awesome, like, learning new things and new ways to pull dents out of cars. Now what we're gonna do is start focusing on getting that roof pulled out. So now that we got the rear quarter panel ready for Bondo, we're gonna go ahead and start working on the roof right here. And I did notice on the dent fix equipment, it does say there's an option for shrinking, which is gonna help us out a lot. As you can see, it's very dented down. I mean, we could probably just buy like 2 gallons of Bondo and just slap it on right here and just smooth it out, which in theory would work out pretty good, but the car would be a little bit top heavy, so we don't really want that. So let's go ahead and start grinding all this down and getting it ready to get pulled out. Holy moly. So guys, check it out. We got all the dents pulled out, and man, I'm honestly surprised with how good it worked. Everything came out nicely, and I'm actually an amateur. This is the first time using it. All these dents came out, and it was pretty bad. It was in there deep. So don't be sleeping on the dent fix equipment machine. That thing is a beast. So now what we need to do is go ahead and remove this rear deck lid, because we do have a lot of dents right here on the side, and when I'm grinding it, I do not want to mess up this deck lid, and it's literally just 2 bolts to get it off, as you can see right here. So we're gonna go ahead and pop this thing off, and then go ahead and finish grinding down the whole roof, get all the dents popped out, and this thing will be ready for some body filler. All right. Dang. That actually came off pretty simple. Some of these things are just pain in the butt. So we got this rear hatch off, and man, this thing was massive. And there's not really that much space back here, as much as you would think. But we got everything off, and now we got all these dents right here. We're gonna have to start working them all out. And pretty much now what we need to do is grab the grinder and go ahead and grind every area down that we need to pull all the dents out. So check it out, guys. We got all the dents pulled out. We went ahead and pulled all this out. And honestly, a lot of you guys might be wondering why we didn't just go ahead and replace this entire roof. And it is because this roof is pretty expensive. I think from the dealer, it's like $2,000. And there's a lot of work included just to get this thing off. You have to drill all these spot loads right here, remove the sunroof, basically remove the entire interior. And all it's gonna need is a light skim coat. The Dent Fix machine pulled everything out perfectly. It's gonna need a light skim coat. So it's pretty much all ready. In the next episode, we'll go ahead and sand all this down, and we wanna make this a nice smooth transition from the paint to the metal, and then we can start body filling it. I still need to get some more body hammers. I actually got some from Eastwood, so they should be here pretty soon, maybe today or tomorrow. Not too sure on that. And then also I'm gonna have to go get a DA sander. There's a lot of stuff that you have to buy whenever you're opening up your own shop, and honestly, it's gonna be good though, because we did leave all. I've never bought a DA actually. I had one at the other shop, and can't really take that from them, so we're gonna have to get one of those. So guys, in the next episode, we're gonna go ahead and get all the body work done on the car, get all that sanded, and probably go ahead and throw it in the spray booth. We got all the parts. We'll get this thing painted, and hopefully it will be done in the next episode. I mean, it wasn't that much work, but honestly, guys, these little jobs right here are pretty fun. It's pretty fun to, you know, do little jobs that you can get done in a couple of hours, and then you just move on to the next thing. But if you guys enjoyed today's episode, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Also drop a like on Instagram at vTuned. We post a lot of sneak peeks, and thanks for watching.